Hey guys, BJ the Brave here, bringing you another deck guide, and today I am bringing you another Tyranid guide, but this time we got the Neurothrope and not Swarmlord. So if you've been following my channel, you've probably seen we did the big Swarmlord Masterclass with Shumatsu, and following that we've had a Forge clash recently against the Ecclesiarch, where we battled it out against Uriel Aggro. And I also released a updated Swarmlord guide post-patch following my 20 games on ladder. So lots of Swarmlord content on the channel, but not really much Neurothrope. So I wanted to bring you this deck. I had a few people give me some input on how to play Neurothrope. A little bit from Demos, shout out to Demos. A little bit from CubeCat, and so shout out to Cube. And overall, I've got to say this is definitely my favourite Tyranid deck to play. Now, I don't know whether it's quite as powerful as Swarmlord overall, especially in that matchup. You know, one of the weaknesses of this deck is playing against Swarmlord, actually. But saying that, I've only had a couple of games, so that might not be true. But I would say that it feels more comfortable to play. There's a few reasons for that. So let's have a look at the deck. So the first thing is that when you play Swarmlord, you often have a lot of struggles against flyers. You know, you have a lot of problems with, like, because you don't have the ranged attack, and I think the Neurothrope being able to ping something for one energy and also having 2 range attack itself means that you've got a lot more flexibility with this Warlord. It's a much better, sort of more flexible Warlord. And the other thing is the Warlord talent only costs 1 energy. So where I was finding with Swarmlord, trying to get the 2 energy talent in often was quite difficult, especially early game when you're trying to develop those juicy bodies. With Neurothrope, you're only playing 1 energy behind curve, so it's a lot easier to do that. So, you know, on turn 4 we can play like a Gene Stealer plus our Warlord talent, or on turn 6 we can play a Carnifex or a Zoanthrope plus our Warlord talent, and I think that's really good. So we've got this like slightly lower curve. We've got things like the Biovores in here. We've got things like the Spirosis, and they pump out spores, which your opponent generally deals with, and they always feel like they don't really do anything. But when you think about it, your opponent is having to divert an attack and therefore at least 2 damage that would be going somewhere else. So they are actually adding value just by doing that alone. So the lower curve in this deck is fantastic. We also include 2 infestation nodes, and I've got to say I'm really falling in love with this card. It's a heal spell, which I'm realising is actually pretty pivotal in the Tyranids. We've got some great units, and we want to try and make them survive, and so healing our units back up is a really good tactic. And what this thing's doing is essentially it's essentially card draw, right? It gives us a copy, so it'll be very common where I'll have, for example, a Carnifex down on board, and then we'll just drop, even sometimes I'll just drop like one of these, 1 node beast for 2, and then play another 2 on the infestation node, and then we get basically a node beast and a Carnifex in hand as card draw. So for only 2 energy, as much as I also like the 3 energy to draw 2 cards, I feel like this one is probably pipping it for me at the minute. I'm really enjoying it, especially in this deck. We do run a couple of the Rapacious Hungers, so we've got some AoE, and importantly, the curve then can go a little bit higher. So where Swarmlord can grow the units with his Warlord talent, we struggle a little bit to do that in the Neurothrope, so we can actually put slightly beefier units in, and that's why we go all the way up to the Hive Tyrant. And the Hive Tyrant actually gives us the Synaptic Imperative, which is kind of like the Swarmlord's ability but on steroids, right? It's basically double that. It's +2 to everything instead of +1. So we've got some really powerful late game with that as well. And yeah, overall I have to say I think I actually just find this deck more comfortable to play. You generally want to play it as the control deck, so you know, especially to start with. So you really don't want to be kind of just going face basically and wasting your Neurothrope's health. Use that for trading early on until you've established a mod. As soon as you've hit that way you can do more damage quickly, that's when obviously you become the beatdown and you want to switch, and then you can start hitting face. So obviously, in terms of sort of strengths and weaknesses, I think the biggest weakness really is I guess it's to do with getting the mulligan right. So what I think you need to do with this deck is be pretty disciplined in the mulligan. And what I found is if I'm going first and I don't have the digestion pool, which obviously we always take if we're going second, I mulligan pretty hard for a 3-drop. I think it's really pivotal when you're going first to have either the Gene Stealer or the Biovore, so that you can start, put it, even a potentially a Node Beast plus the Warlord talent on turn 3 is not bad. But I think being able to get tempo going turn 3 is pretty important with this deck. Obviously, if you're going second, then you can drop the digestion pool and drop a Carnifex on energy 3, which is turn 2. I always get that confused. So yeah, overall, as long as you kind of mulligan correctly and get a good curve, then I think this deck is, I think it's really good actually. I think it's really, really good. So yeah, let's jump into some games. Before we do, I'd really appreciate if you would like, and if you haven't yet subscribed to the channel, please do so. We've got tons more planned this calendar year. We've obviously got an exciting roadmap now. We know we're going to be getting 3 expansions. We know we're going to be getting new cards soon. So I can't wait to cover all of that this year. So yeah, do subscribe and make sure you don't miss any content around that. Thanks for your help and support. And yeah, let's jump into some games.
Manius Calgar. Okay, so we've got the Prime. Infestation mode on Prime could be interesting. I think we need more troops though. Always take the pool. We could immediately play out the Prime. That would counter him dropping the Inceptor turn 3 unchallenged. Because if we're planning on playing the Gene Stealer turn 3 and he drops Incesta and he drops that, then we're a bit stuck. So yeah, it's more just to counter the tempo. So this way we're going to end up with the board end of turn 3. Turn 4 we can steal her and Warlord power. I'm going to do it this way and like set up a bigger target. Okay, so how do we want to do this? We could trade with hero power. We can simply do this. I'm not sure I want to drop the Venom Throat really. That could get taken out by the 6-drop flyer, the Inceptor Sergeant. I really want to develop the card effects, but it puts us down to 14 health if we do that. I'm not sure if this is the correct line. There's quite a few ways we could have done that. We could have gone down a Vivacious Hunger line to kind of heal. We do still have things like Enhanced Organism in hand though, so it's kind of like the last chance to really just push for board advantage. We could really do with a Synapse creature here. Double Storm Raven really hurts us here. That really hurts us. Putting that 1 health on one of those wouldn't have helped either. Okay, interesting. Flank attack. Give us the flank attack. There's no point going ahead on health because we just take a point, right? So that would only do 4 damage, and that would do 1/5. Whereas if we do this, we actually get the 9 damage off. I mean, I'd love to heal that, but I just don't think we can afford the luxury of it. I'll let him take the extra ping from this sweeping infestation. He has to trade this, right? With that. Yeah, you see, that would have taken it out anyway, so it would have been a complete waste of Enhanced Organism. Whereas this gives us quite a bit of heal. He might have lethal if he has double death from above in hand, which he doesn't. Yes, excellent. Yeah, this is just lethal, right, with these two into here. GG. That was a good game.
Okay, so we have Imotekh. Of course, we take the pool. Three units in hand, it's not bad. So there is an opening here that basically sees us play a Gene Stealer plus Spirit Leech. It's quite powerful actually, let's try it. He's got the Destroyer flank, hasn't he? Scartic. Destroyer. But this would trade with that at least. No. Interesting. You can trade with like the Tomb Blade and his Lord now for free. Well, I say for free, I mean for no damage back. You've still got to obviously dedicate their attacks to it. I don't know whether we should have traded there with the Tesla, because now we can take it out, but he would have just brought it back there actually, so we made the right decision, I think. Pretty happy about that, where the thing landed. Be good if we could get the prime and infestation node on both of them. God, this is such a weird deck that we're playing against. I really want to try this card more. It's got potential, but it is slow. Only 4 health as well, it's not great. Oh, it's still alive. Okay, GG. Okay, so we're up against Haarken. Okay, this is an excellent hand. We're going second. We got the digestion pool. And we've got the Ravener Hunter. What we're looking for now is the Broodlord. just going to heal up this turn. Ooh, wait, what's that? That one, okay. So yeah, just heal up here. Actually, didn't do as much good, did it? We'll go into Carnifex next turn. And then we can play one behind curve, so we can hit our Warlords on every turn. We've got an interesting play here actually. We could play the Node Beast and the Infection Node. Quite like that. Really like the Infestation Node. It does give him a weak unit to attack with his hero power though. Yeah. He can range attack this middle one now. Yeah. That's exactly what he does. If he attacks, he's just lost. Yeah, he's just lost. I think he's lost, right? Because this is now... Oh yeah, yeah, he's definitely lost now. Kaboom! So I don't think it's as potent as Swarmlord, but it's a bit more forgiving in the early game, that's for sure. Speaking of early game. No Carnifex this time. You got Zibble Zone Throat. So I'm not sure I like the Turn 1 Gene Stealer player in this match, because Eldar can do a lot of flank range damage, which would take that out pretty easily. So I think instead we just focus on killing this in the first turn. Does get his star. We'll go Gene Stealer, denying the Scorpion the target that the Biovol would give him. And then I think next turn we do... Well, we can do Digestion Pull into Broodlord, but I think it's probably a Digestion Pull into Zonethrope, to be honest. Or is it? Do we go into the Carnifex and then ping that? I think I prefer that actually. I think I prefer that. We can drop that, hit this, ping that, and smack that. Something like that. We could have gone with the Zonethrope and chanced the where the 1 to 3 random damage went, but I think the line we went down was you know, just less RNG basically. Okay. Yeah. It's a problem. Do we drop the Zonethrope or do we drop the Gene Stealer here and healed effects? Even the Biovol. Something will keep him busy. The thing with the Stealer is we could do good double Stealer next turn. Of course, he can counter this with the Eldritch Storm. But I think we'd take the Storm here, like, don't know, it's not too bad for us. You'd only have 2 energy left, so you wouldn't be able to develop much more. Yeah, so he wouldn't be able to develop much more. I think he's contemplating it. Don't think he's got the flanker, because I think he would have played that last turn. Remember when he played the Banshee? So if he had the well, yeah, okay. So he's playing the Guardian. So he could still go Storm. Does he do it? No, Wind Rider. Carnifex is such a problem for him. I think what we're going to do here is just do the old... Wait. It's 1 to 3, isn't it? So... It could end up just pinging, so I think we're going to kill this with this. And then we're going to do this. I want to get rid of that just in case he's got the Reclaim the Stars. I want to give him the 5. Finally kills the Carnifex after 3 turns of trying. Okay, nice. So now we can drop this. Sorry about that. Got the sniffles this week. So this is looking good for us, boys and girls. We've just got to... I'm trying to think what he's got here. I mean, the Eldritch Storm's just terrible here. Looking like he needs some sort of Vanguard unit. Or stun. Yeah, it's not looking good for him here. Maybe he took the Banshee? No. Yeah, that's GG. There we go, boys. Nice. Nice, 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 nice. Okay. Where are we? So that is the Synapse version of Neurothrope. As I say, I think it's probably not quite as powerful overall as Swarmlord, but I have to say, like, I genuinely find it. I find it preferable to play than Swarmlord. Swarmlord has some really big blind spots, and obviously dealing with flyers is a big one. You know, the range damage, even just grots and stuff was such a problem. We saw that last season, and I think what the Neurothrope brings you is a much more flexible approach. And the thing about this deck specifically is it's got a lower curve. One of the weaknesses of the Swarmlord deck is that it can often struggle in the first few turns, whereas I didn't feel that with this. I felt like you could get ahead, you could start tempoing out and sort of controlling the board with bodies from a much earlier phase. So with the additions of some of the units and stratagems in here, I thought the lower curve was pretty good. And at the same time, you know, the Swarmlord's talent does allow you to grow your units better than this does, but it costs you 2 energy, so it's a lot harder to actually get those Warlord talents in, whereas with Neurothrope, I feel like we're getting the Warlord talent in. That +1 health is coming in very often, so you can play just 1 energy behind curve, and we also do include the Hive Tyrant, which essentially gives you like a kind of juiced up Swarmlord ability. You know, instead of +1 to everything, it's +2, so we can squeeze the Hive Tyrant in here, and I think it works really well. So overall, this is definitely my most comfortable Tyranid deck, and probably one of the best. I think it's one of the best decks that I've climbed with this season. So there we go, guys. I hope you enjoyed those games. Just wanted to share with you briefly at the end the statistics for the deck. I've only played 10 games recorded with Neurothrope against human opponents, but as you can see, I had massive success with this. And I honestly have to say, this deck really surprised me. I really liked it. It felt a lot more comfortable than the Swarmlord. As predicted, the one game we had against the Swarmlord, we did lose that one. But other than that, actually the deck did very well. We had a very, very close encounter with Imotekh, which we lost. But
Other than that, we've beaten 2 Imotek's, we've beaten a Gruk, we've beaten a Calgar, we've beaten the Aberdons. So this deck is, yeah, it's very good. I mean, I wouldn't expect it to be 80% after playing like 50 games or 100 games, but I definitely feel confident that this deck I could climb ladder with and post a kind of upwards of 60-65% win rate with it, absolutely. And as I say, overall I found it a little bit easier, a little more forgiving than Swarmlord. Whether its total power spike is as high, probably not, but it's I think this is a great deck. It's actually proven to be, I actually think this is my joint second favourite deck to climb with this season behind Ghaelyn. So really great deck. Just wanted to kind of share that with you, and I plan on playing more games with the deck. So you know, if I get an update, I'll try and post in the comments, check the comments and stuff below, and I'll post an update on that. But yeah, thanks a lot for watching. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet. I know a lot of you have. Thank you very much for your support, but a lot of people who do watch the videos haven't yet subscribed, so I'd really appreciate that. We do hopefully have a patch coming very soon, so look out for loads more content from me on Warhammer 40k Warpforge. See you guys.